As the co-CEO of the MDF, I'd like to thank all of you for your presence here today. My team and I will present the results of our daily business activities for the winter quarter. The Chinese say, give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day, teach him how to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. The MDF is a self-regulated learning vehicle where students take the ownership of their own learning process. We learn the technical skills such as Excel, PowerPoint, and FXCM, and we also learn the softer side of the business, such as becoming better team players and networking more efficiently. Our student body developed a framework for our daily operations, modeling, trading, risk management, compliance, and also for marketing. Then the more outstanding students report the results to the advisory board on a quarterly basis. The challenges we face on a daily basis create the belief of self-sufficiency within each one of us. As the markets change, we must also develop the foundation of our knowledge to the real-time markets. So if you were to ask the Chinese, they would say we are becoming better fishermen. Next, Mr. Nikita will tell you more about the team.
Thank you, Sophie. My name is Nikita Kapchuk. I'm a head banker at MD Fund, and right now we're going to talk about organizational structure within the MD Fund. So we are 23 member student team that has almost tripled in size. Currently, we have 26% are graduate students, and the rest 74% are undergraduate students. Currently, we have 8 seniors who will be graduating this year, and we have 10 juniors who we would like to retain for the next year. Also, we have 3 female members that hold key leadership positions within the fund, and this is the number that we would like to expand in the near future. Also, as you can see, we have the traditional extended organizational chart, where Professor McNeil is our managing director and the sole owner of the Endeavor Fund. As well, we are very fortunate to have Professor Mark serve as our coach. As you can see on the organizational chart, the flow goes from the COOs to directors and then into individual positions. Now I'd like to introduce our Director of Operations, John Berry.
Thanks, Nikita. So I'm John Berry, I'm the Director of Operations, and I'm going to walk you through 3 slides. First is the current model we're trading. Second, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we back tested that model. And finally, I'm going to talk about our performance and our returns to date. So we're currently trading model SAM. SAM is a simple trend following model that uses 10 and 20 moving averages on 5-minute spot Euro USD chart to identify trends. Trends are identified, long signals are generated when the 10 is over the 20. Likewise, shorts are generated when the 20 is when the 20 is under the 10. We trade this model Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Traders enter with the trend at 7 a.m. and we hold that position until either one of 3 occurs. First, we hit our 100 pip stop loss. Second, the trend reverses, meaning that the moving averages cross to the opposite side. Or third, we come to 9 a.m., which is when the MD Fund closes trading for the day. We trade this model in teams of 2. The first trader is in charge of managing the model, entering the data, and generating the trends, the trend signals, the trade signals. And the second trader is in charge of execution on the FXCM platform. And we put this system in place in order to have a little bit of validation as we're live trading. So each trader is held accountable for the other's responsibilities. The trader doing execution that day knows how to manage the model and kind of oversees that, and vice versa. So now I'm going to get into a little bit about how our risk management team back tested our returns. We back tested them from January 1st, 2014 through the year to December 31st. And we also compared the returns to that of the Vanguard 500 index and the iShares 7 to 10 year Treasury bond index. Now during this period, SAM did not meet the 11.8% return of the Vanguard ETF or the 4.3% return of the iShares 7 to 10 year bond ETF. In fact, SAM incurred a loss over the year. But at the same time, SAM was not developed to generate high returns. This was developed as an introductory model for students with no experience to learn how to trade, get their feet wet. So as we gain experience, get comfortable with the platform, comfortable managing models, we're begin to introduce more complex and more profitable models. So, and now a little bit about our trade performance and our return to date. So we started trading January 22nd, and as of March 19th, we've had 36 trades. 30% of these trades have been winners. Now, it's not uncommon for a trend following model to have a win percentage that's under 50%. However, 30 is still a little low, so I think in future models, that's a number we'll look to improve. Our largest gain over the period was 98.70 on February 26th, and we had our largest loss of 89.30 on March 6th, as we were on the wrong side of the positive employment data that came out that Friday. So the M. Dieman Fund calculates our cumulative total P&L by taking our gross trading P&L, subtracting out commissions, which on our current model are 80 cents round trip, and adding on operational fines, which we charge the traders who commit errors, which we'll get into a little bit in a second. So to date, we've lost 2.8% on trading, but with our error fines, we are still in the black and have had roughly a 2.8% return. So now I'm going to introduce Taco, who's going to talk a little bit more about this unique aspect of the M. Dieman Fund, which is error fines.
Thank you very much, Mr. Area. I'm going to be discussing about the operational error fines, as well as the error reporting in the M. Dieman Fund. In the M. Dieman Fund, the operating fines are made when a trader makes an error during their trading period, in which it is calculated by taking the absolute value of the benchmark P&L and then multiplying that by 2 and rounding it by the nearest whole dollar. And then the trader must collaborate with an error reporter and the compliance department in order to ensure that the potential chance of the error is going to be reduced by ensuring that they understand exactly what the error was and how it can be prevented in the future. Overall, thus far, since January 22nd, the M. Dieman Fund has made 5 errors out of 38 trading days for a total of approximately $310. And in addition, the M. Dieman Fund also attempts to reduce credit risk by holding an additional account, a Chase Bank account, with $7,000 in risk cap, $7,000, and by holding with $3,000 in the FXCM, $5,800 in the FXCM account, for a total of about $13,000 in total capital. By having the Chase account, in case our current broker, FXCM, defaults, we're able to open a new broker and then transfer the capital from the FXCM account to ensure that our trading strategy can still be replicated, to ensure as soon as the capital is on the new broker, we're able to continue with our trading model same.
I'm Hillary Tobin. I'm the Director of Algorithmic Modeling for the fund. I'm going to be discussing our benchmark and our risk metrics. The benchmark is how we measure the performance of our traders. While traders may commit operational errors and allow for significant slippage at trade entry and exit points, the benchmark represents how the model would operate if it were automated, with no operational errors and with limited slippage of 0.25 pips per trade. Comparing SAM's P&L to our benchmark gives us a pretty good idea of our operational risk exposure. Since trader P&L includes error fines, sometimes SAM's returns significantly exceed those of the benchmark. Lower returns are generally the result of slippage. The risk department also measures SAM's market risk exposure. We calculate the standard deviation of our returns and our Sharpe and Sortino ratios, along with maintaining a 100-day rolling historic bar model. SAM's current risk metrics indicate that we have excessive market risk exposure. Our negative Sharpe and Sortino ratios indicate that our returns are not high enough to justify the level of market risk that we're facing. Next, Nikita is going to discuss compliance.
Thank you, Hillary. My name is Nikita Rubin, and I'm co-CEO of the M. Dieman Fund. I'm going to cover a compliance procedure chart for the M. Dieman Fund and tell you how does it operate. The very first step for the compliance department is to make sure to collect all of the documents from each department. After receiving all of the documents, compliance department must make sure that the most important documents, such as P&L report, banking report, and tier sheet, are updated daily, weekly, and on time. Compliance department must make sure that each department is being operated properly, all of the documents are submitted on time, and members following their procedures. Compliance department has a strict 2-strike policy rule for the M. Dieman Fund members. After receiving a second strike, M. Dieman Fund member will be notified and formally fired. Any of the following actions will result in receiving 1 strike: making a trading error, not showing up on time, not dressing up appropriately, and missing a meeting. Here we have an example of our banking report. This is just a quick and convenient overview of our performance and our trades. We do update it weekly and present it to our advisory board. We have some interesting statistics such as our largest gain and largest loss comparison with the benchmark. And as I mentioned, this is quick and convenient way to track our performance and try to improve ourselves. Now I would like to introduce Ben with the next slide.
Hi, I'm Ben Friedman. I'm the director or co-director of trading, and this is an example of an error report that we use at the M. Demon Fund. In this case, we had a trader execute a one lot when we traded tens, and in doing so, the trader needs to clearly and concisely explain to us what happened and say what is going to be done in the future to prevent these problems. And once this is done, the directors collect this information, and then the trader who made the mistake pays us on Thursday. So here's an example of our tear sheet. It's the staple document in front of you. This essentially just gives you an overview of our business, what markets we're in, what time we trade, and is a convenient way for our potential investors to understand the M. Demon Fund. So now I'm going to pass it to Adil, a member of our risk management team.
Thank you, Ben. Now, one of the most important opportunities for students in the M. Demon Fund is to take part in the Trader Talk lecture series. The lecture series provides students with the opportunity to speak with several highly distinguished traders and professional managers working in Chicago. And so through this lecture series, the students gain a better understanding of the careers in finance and about the various skills that are necessary to excel in this highly competitive and dynamic trading industry. This quarter, students also took part in the CME Group's Trading Challenge. Now we had three teams this year. My team actually was in the top 5% the first 3 days, but we didn't really end up too well. But this is an electronic trading competition, and we use the CQG trading platform. And it was a great team building experience, as my team was up at the DePaul Center, which is downtown in the Loop, at 5 a.m. And we had 4 monitors going, we had our laptops going, we took teams in between classes, we took shifts looking at the markets, and it was just a great experience. And now I'm going to pass it over to Miles.
Thank you, Adil. In addition to having the pleasure of listening to the traders in the Trader Talk series, Professor McNew gives us the opportunity to go and meet other companies as well as network. On the 26th of February, 9 students of the fund, including myself, got to go to Geneva Trading and present who we are, what we do, as well as our model. Of our 23-member group, we have nearly 50% working in other jobs outside of the 15 hours contributed to the M. Demon Fund per week. Of those jobs, we have 6 market jobs, 1 graduate assistant, 1 university administrator, 1 corporate finance, and a beverage management position. The work ethic shown through our dual workforce comes out in anything produced by the M. Demon Fund. Recently, as our fund continues to grow, we were just recognized as a student organization within the university. And this is great because now we have the opportunity to apply for university funding. So to receive funding for this trip, we applied for $3,000, of which we received $1,468, which was great because we could apply it to this Houston trip. And in addition to that, we started a GoFundMe site where we received $3,650 from 21 investors, which we greatly appreciate. Now I'm going to pass it to Gavin, who's going to talk to you a little bit about our advisory board.
Great job, Miles. Hi everybody, I'm Gavin Thompson, co-director of trading. And first off, I'd like to talk to you all about our Houston trip. I'll try and keep my slides nice and short so we can all go in one into the flying saucer. But the Houston trip was our first, I'd say, experiential learning vehicle. We learned that build upon Professor McNew's energy course. We learned a tremendous amount on this trip. I can say that on everyone's behalf. I thought it was very interesting how the energy field revolves around capturing a lot of ARB opportunities and in different ways, from embedded options in pipelines, managing tankers, investment banking. I thought those were very interesting. I enjoyed all your talks. Now I would like to talk to you about our advisory board. Our advisory board is a great resource for the MD Fund. It helps to develop us as students and individuals by building on skills and life lessons you've taught. You all provide great insight. You all provide great insight and give us a lot of trying to think of the word.
To develop as professionals.
Yeah, I said to develop as professionals through insight, and then I was going to go around and say a little bit about each one of you, but I'm having a brain fart, so I'm just going to skip that and pass it on to John Barry here.
All right, thanks, Gavin. So thank you all for coming. Just a real quick note. So all of the data on the presentation is as of 3/19. The tear sheet and P&L report you have in front of you is of yesterday, 3/26. So again, I'm just going to reiterate what Gavin said. Thank all of you for having us down here, and we got to meet all of you, and you shared all of your great insight, and we even got to come up to your offices, which is excellent. When you go to school and you sign up for a fund like this is the absolute ideal network and opportunity, and we do not take for granted your time and effort. So thank you for that. And now we'll just open it up to any questions you have for